Welcome back to Simple Happy Zen, or if you're new here, my name is Vera, and today I will talk about being highly sensitive. So I will talk about my own personal experiences, what it's like for me to live as a highly sensitive person, to how I found out about it, how I deal with it, and how I make the most of it. So if you suspect or know that you are highly sensitive too, or if you know someone else who is, then keep watching this video. I got a lot of requests from you guys for more videos on the topic of being highly sensitive, so I decided to make a 4-part video series. And in this series we're going to cover everything from my personal experiences, the healthy habits for highly sensitive people, how to take care of yourself, but also how to see the beautiful sides of being highly sensitive, the talents that you may have because of it, and how to make the best of this gift, even though it can also definitely be challenging sometimes. The one you're watching right now is part 1, and as I upload more videos, I will post the links to them in the description down below so you can easily find them. And I'll also, of course, keep making videos about other topics like minimalism. So this video is based on my personal experiences and everything that I have learned over the last year and a half. And one book that has helped me out tremendously is The Highly Sensitive Person by Dr. Elaine Aron. She has done a lot of research on this topic, and she's also highly sensitive herself. So this book was just full of eye-openers for me, and it was really comforting to read. If you want to learn more about it, I'll link it in the description. Of all people, around 15% can be categorized as a highly sensitive person, and we have a few things in common. Highly sensitive people have increased sensitivity to stimuli like loud noises, bright lights, busy streets, heavy rain, or aggressive movies. And you can compare it to when you've been living in a dark, silent cave for a month and then coming out and walking through a busy city. Highly sensitive people can feel like that all the time. And we also notice subtleties a lot stronger than non-HSPs. So for example, a small change in someone's facial expression or the general mood when you walk into a room. We tend to experience not only the physical things more deeply, but also internal stimuli like emotions, and a lot of us have a very active mind. We tend to have a very rich inner life, and a lot of this can lead to highly sensitive people getting tired easily or getting overwhelmed by the world. Just to get a few misunderstandings out of the way, not all highly sensitive people are introverted and shy. We come in all shapes and sizes, and we are all different. For example, around 30% are extroverted people, and we're not mostly women either. 50% of all HSPs are men. My 16 personalities test came out as the protagonist, or envy. HSP is a category, not a label. We are all unique. So yes, life as a highly sensitive person can be really challenging sometimes, especially if you don't know that you're highly sensitive or you don't really know how to deal with it. And it's like that for me at times too. I personally found out I was highly sensitive about a year and a half ago when I was going through a burnout. And at the time I was seeing a coach, and she was helping me get back on my feet, and she told me about it, and I can't even begin to describe the light bulb moment I had at that time. Luckily, I was able to recover from my burnout, but I also found out that my high sensitivity was partly contributing to me getting to that place. And now that I know about it, I can deal with it in such a way that I can stay happy and healthy. If you want to know if you're highly sensitive too, then I made a short test that you can take. I'll link it in the description, and you can also find it here. And if you do check, please leave a comment and tell me how many of the 30 signs you recognized. I'm really interested to know. There are many ways that people deal with being highly sensitive. For example, I was always a very responsible child. I always made sure I did my homework, got good grades, never came home late. Partly this was just my personality, but partly it was a way for me to deal with my extremely sensitive nature. I thought that if I could just make as few waves as possible and be in control of everything, that I would feel safe. Or at the company where I was working a few years ago, there were often requests for me to go on international business trips that would probably excite most people, but I always tried to decline them if I could. Because these trips were extremely exhausting for me, to travel, work all day, and then go out at night. I could never keep up. But at the time, I didn't know why this was exactly. Now that I know more about myself, I also know how to take care of myself better, and I will go more deeply into the topic of healthy habits for highly sensitive people in a later video. But for now, I just like to mention the few things, the most important things that have helped me. An important thing that I've learned is what it's like when I'm experiencing over-arousal. And this is something that Dr. Elaine Aron talks a lot about in her book. So whenever I'm somewhere where there's lots and lots of stimuli, like a busy mall or a noisy restaurant, I can easily get totally overwhelmed. And whenever your body is in that state, it releases cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and it has all kinds of effects. If I listen carefully, it's easy for me to tell when I'm experiencing this. I get slightly feverish, I start to get tired, I can't concentrate, sometimes I get a headache and my hands start to tremble. I have to always try to find a balance between either too much in or too much out. My natural tendencies are to go out too much, to do too much. So I have to balance this with staying in, taking a rest, and making time to be alone, to center and unwind. And this can be a bit frustrating at times. For example, when I really want to start working on my next video, but my body tells me that I need to rest. And at those times, it's pretty hard to accept this fact, but I find it's really important that you do. On the other hand, staying in too much and shying away from the world is also not a good thing. We have a lot of positive stuff to offer the world, so I feel like we should always participate. But I do try to make conscious choices. For example, going out to eat a little bit early so it's not too noisy, or going shopping on a weekday so I can avoid the weekend crowds. And these little things have helped me greatly. I also don't watch movies or read books that are too aggressive for me because they can easily depress me or frighten me. And for example, certain scenes from The Walking Dead or the first season of 13 Reasons Why still haunt me sometimes, so I decided not to watch the rest of the series. It is okay to plan ahead and make things easier for yourself. And sometimes there's just no avoiding becoming over-aroused, at which time I just take a bit more time to rest afterwards. Now that I know where it's coming from, I don't worry about it or stress about it anymore. I just simply allow myself the needed downtime. Another important thing to understand is that high sensitivity is a real thing. There's lots of studies done on this topic, and research shows that there is an actual difference in how our brains work, and this is a tendency that we are born with. And they see this not just in humans, but also in some animal species too. So realizing that and accepting that it's a real thing, and you're not just being too sensitive or acting like a child, is a really important thing. Which brings me to my next point. If you're like me, you've probably heard people tell you to man up and stop being such a baby and stop being so sensitive. Know that you don't have to do any of these things. You are perfectly fine as you are. And the more you know about your highly sensitive nature, the better you can explain it to these people that there's no reason for you to change. And the reason I bring this up is because a lot of highly sensitive people consider it to be a burden. And when I was researching for this video, I found that a lot of people were searching for terms like highly sensitive personality disorder or highly sensitive person medication. And even though I understand it, I want to challenge people to look at it from a bit of a different angle. Because being highly sensitive can have amazing benefits, like being able to enjoy subtle things in life in a much deeper way, or connecting with people because of your emphatic and compassionate nature. Having a deep connection with your intuition and with your own spirit, and experiencing life in a very rich way. Of course, these qualities are not just present in highly sensitive people, but we do tend to have these more frequently. So don't try to adapt yourself to a not so sensitive world. You don't need to change. And lastly, it is really important to take good care of your body because we tend to be very much affected by it. And if we're tired or hungry or fighting a cold, we feel it a lot more strongly than other people do. So make sure taking care of your health is a priority. Be extra over the top with your self-care because you need it. And listen to the subtle signs of your body. Being highly sensitive definitely has its challenges, but it has also enriched my life and it made me who I am, so I wouldn't change it for anything. And my main advice to you would be to accept this part of yourself. It is totally normal and it's okay. This was part 1 of the 4-part video series. Thank you so much for watching. In the next one, I will discuss healthy habits for highly sensitive people, so you'll be getting a lot more tips on how to deal with your sensitive nature. Make sure to share this video with everyone who you think it can be helpful for, whether they are highly sensitive themselves or you want to explain to someone what it's like. And please make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and if you haven't subscribed to Simple Happy Zen yet, then please do, so I will see you in my next video. You can click here for a lovely guided meditation to calm down and relieve stress. and you can click here for more videos from the HSP video series. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day. Bye bye.